Hi, this is Mathilde and welcome to episode number 4 of my knitting podcast. So first of all, I want to thank you all for all of your lovely comments and the number of views and new followers here on my channel from my last video, which was like a pattern roundup for free patterns for Christmas gifts. So be sure to check it out if you've not done that already. I'll try to link it up there, or everything is linked down below anyway. If you have any last minute Christmas gifts that you want to make, or if you want quick knit ideas for yourself, and yeah, I can't believe it's already my 4th knitting podcast. Time flew by and it's kind of crazy everything that I've started to cast on and knit in the last month. When I started knitting, I thought I would be a monogamist knitter. I really wanted to only buy yarn for one project at a time, and turns out I want to knit everything all at once, which I can't do. But yeah, I do have a lot of things to talk about today on the podcast. And yeah, I follow the usual here on the channel. I follow the usual knitting podcast, so that means I talk about all of my finished objects and then my whips. And finally, if I have any yarn acquisitions or knitting notions to talk about, dream plans that I want to start soon, that's what I usually talk about. So I do try to upload a video once every 2 weeks, so be sure to be subscribed if you like my content. So let's just dive right in. I am actually wearing my first finished object. So this is the Levitate Wrap by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I'll just stand up to show you. I started this on the 17th of September and I finished it around the 19th of November. So it took me about 2 months. But bear in mind that I was also knitting on quite a few other projects at the same time. And I think what took me the longest was definitely the double knitted edges. So let's first talk about the pattern and what I liked or didn't like about it. So I enjoyed the pattern itself. It was not quite clear at some moments, at least for me. I used 2 videos on YouTube that have really helped me out. That was the project vlog by String Things by Mel. I think I mostly used it for the cuffs and at the beginning to know like when to pick up the stitches for the shoulder, and then I used Knitwear, which I've already mentioned by the way, but I used her project vlog for the double knitted ribbon at the bottom of the cardigan, I think, mostly. So they've really helped me out, otherwise I think I would have been a bit confused about the pattern. But all in all, it's a lovely pattern and it's a really nice design. I think I would have preferred it to make it a bit longer. I followed the pattern exactly to the letter for the length, but I think she talks about like how many rounds you make it instead of centimeters. And so I tried it on and I liked it, but I thought it would grow a bit more when blocking, but it didn't. As you can see, it's quite cropped, so I have to pull it down quite a lot whenever I'm sitting down. It kind of rises up in the back. So yeah, I think if I were to do it again, which I don't know that I would, just because of how long the double knitted edges took me. I think if I were to do it again, I would definitely make it a bit longer. And then same thing for the sleeves, they're fine, but they are a bit short. Depends, I think I'm actually, yeah. So I would have preferred them to arrive here. I thought the double knitted cuffs would take a bit more space, but yeah. I'm definitely going to make my next sweaters have longer sleeves. I'm going to be more careful about that, because every time I'm just like too eager to just finally wear the garment, so I just don't knit longer sleeves, but I really should do that, so I am going to try. And then yeah, I had a real problem with the double knitted edges. So first of all, I couldn't get gauge. I think the pattern says to use 5mm for the double knitting, and my gauge was way off, way too small. I'm quite a tight knitter. I do tend to go up one needle size, but even going up for the double knitting wasn't enough. So I tried, I think it was 8mm needles, but even that was too small, so I was like, what am I gonna do? So I just did it with the recommended needle size. I think for the most part it's fine. The only thing is that for the ribbon here, it's already starting to be a bit thin, so I'm kind of worried for the long run, like how it is going to hold up. So that's just my own fault. That's not the fault of the pattern. I do have another project on my needles at the moment, which I'll talk about in a moment, which has a double knitted button band. So I will be more careful about my gauge this time. Also, it's really difficult to make the edges of double knitting so neat. Mine are not too catastrophic, but I think I would have liked for them to be a bit better. But as I said, I think it took me about 2 weeks to knit this double knitted edges, because you've got them here around the neck, but you've also got it around the whole bottom of the cardigan, and then you've also got the ribbons. It's a lot of double knitting. Just be wary of that if you want to make this pattern. Also because doing it for more than, I couldn't do it for more than 2 or 3 hours at a time, just because my wrist started to hurt, so I had to take breaks. So yeah, took a while, but otherwise I'm really happy with it. I've been wearing it quite a lot already, and yeah, I really like it. It is one of the few projects, well, I've only made one whole sweater before for myself, but it is, I think, the only project that doesn't have that many mistakes in it, so I'm quite happy with it. For the yarn, I used the recommended yarn, which is Isager EcoSoft. I actually have one full skein left and a little bit of another one. So this is EcoSoft, EcoSoft, which is 56% alpaca and 44% organic cotton. I don't know why I'm showing you the, yeah, it is in the color E8S, I think. Yeah, E8S. And yeah, this is a really lovely yarn. I really like this. I might use it again. I don't know what I will do with this one, because I've only got one left. So I'll have to check on Ravelry, whatever I can make with this. But I really want to use it. But in the future, I might use like a white or beige one. I really like this color, but just for another project. I don't know which one yet, but I really do like this. And then I've got one, I haven't weighed this yet, but I think I might have like half of a skein maybe, of a ball. And this is Isager trio one in Chestnut, and you pair them together. This one is fine, it's just really annoying because it got tangled so much. As you can see, I've had to like make like ravel it again. Do you say that? Ravel it? Probably not, but you know what I mean. I actually, for the second ball of this, I wound it up into a skein, but it just tangled again, so that was really annoying because it did lose me a bit of time. Not too much, but you know. So trio one is 50% linen, 30% cotton and 20% lyocell. So this is a lace weight yarn, whereas the EcoSoft is a worsted or iron weight. I don't remember. So yeah, that's my Levitate Wrap. I don't think I have more to say about it. So I'll just go straight into my second finished object, and this is the Sophie Shawl, which I made as a gift for Christmas this year. So this is the Sophie Shawl by Petite Knit. It is a scarf, Sophie Shawl, which is a really easy pattern to follow. It is, it's got 3 sizes, so a small, a medium and a large. I made the medium size, but as you can see it's quite small, and that's because I didn't realize, but I used the wrong needle size for this, and I'm already a tight knitter, so I think it's even smaller than, yeah. So I made the small size. I didn't finish the last ball. You use 3 balls for this. I used the recommended yarn for this, which is Eco Cashmere Vintage by Gepard Garn. It is a DK weight yarn, which is 100% cashmere. It's really soft and lovely. But yeah, I think I definitely would have liked it to be a bit longer, but it's fine, it's my own mistake. So you basically knit the I-cord edge at the same time as the rest, and you do increases, and then once you're halfway through you start the decreases. It's a lovely knit, quite addictive because you kind of want to keep on going, and what's nice is that once you start the decreases it just goes by so much faster. I started this on the 7th of October and I finished it about a month later, but again I was knitting on some other things at the same time, so yeah. I still have to block it and weave in some ends. I've done most ends, I still have some to finish, to weave in. Yeah, I think it's going to be a lovely gift, which I can't wait to pack up. By, as I said, I still have to block it and weave in the ends before I do that. But yeah, that is my first time knitting a shawl or a scarf. I did knit a scarf when I was really young, but then I stopped knitting altogether, so I consider this to be my first ever scarf, and it's really lovely. So now let's just dive into my works in progress. I would have really liked to have finished the first one I'm going to show you before this video, but it's just been a drag. I just haven't been wanting to knit on this, but I am starting the decreases, so should have finished this by maybe by tonight. And I am talking about the Oslo Hat by Petite Knit, which I am knitting up in Knitting for Olive Merino in the colorway Dusty Artichoke. And yeah, you knit you knit it double-stranded. So the Oslo Hat is a really popular pattern, so I won't talk too much about it, but it's basically got this folded brim, so you knit stockinette for quite a while before you knit the cast-on edge together with the round that you're currently knitting, and then you do several rounds of stockinette again, and then you turn your work, I think, and then you just knit stockinette until you start decreasing. So I think the reason why I just haven't been wanting to work on it is because well, I had quite a few other projects that were way more exciting on my needles, but also because of the needles. So I think maybe knitting 2 strands of merino on these C-knit wooden needles or bamboo needles is just not that nice. I think with metal needles it would have been better, but I don't think I have metal needles in this size, and also I had to knit this magic loop the whole time, so I'm definitely gonna buy some shorter metal needles so that I can knit hats and, you know, sleeves maybe even with circular needles instead of doing magic loop the whole way. So yeah, if I have finished this by tonight, I will include some B-rolls of the finished hat, so that way I won't talk about it in the next podcast because I've already been talking about it quite a lot. So then I've got another, this is a gift knit by the way, and I've got another gift knit on my needles which I hope to finish soon, but we shall see. And that is the Everyday, no sorry, that is the Hermione's Everyday Socks by, I think it's Erika Lueder. And this is what they look like. This is only the first one. I am close to starting the heel, but I haven't started yet. It is a free pattern, I think. I'm 90% sure it's a free pattern, and it's really, really lovely. I've only knit up one pair of socks before, and these were the Everyday Socks by Petite Knit. They're just plain stockinette with a German short row heel, and these just weren't exciting. The only thing that made it exciting was the yarn. But this is a really simple textured pattern that is just really addictive, and yeah, it just makes me want to knit on them. I've just put them to the side for a bit while I finish the Oslo Hat, but then these are going to be my main focus of my weekday knitting, because I do want to finish them by Christmas, and this is the first sock. I am using Sysleriget sock yarn in the colorway Blueberry Yogurt, which is this really lovely, I don't know, I would say this is quite a light purple, but my sister told me this was blue, so what do you guys think? Because this is purple to me. Yeah, it's really lovely, and I can't wait to finish this pair of socks. The pattern is really easy to follow. It's got a eye of partridge heel, which I've never done before, since this is only my second pair of socks, which I can't wait to learn how to do. And yeah, I think that's all I've got to say about this pair of socks. I like the pattern so much. Well, I'll wait until I finish the second one, because by the second one I might be a bit annoyed, but I think I might make a pair for myself. We shall see. And now let's just dive into more heavy projects. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the Friday Slipover by Petite Knit. I think I mentioned it in my last at the end of my last knitting podcast because I wanted to cast it on, which I have. And yeah, I am here. However, I do have a few things to fix. So I'll first talk about the pattern briefly. Again, this is by Petite Knit. It's a broken rib vest that you knit top down. You knit the back panel first, and then you pick up stitches for the shoulders, and then you join no, you don't join, but you had stitches here for the neck, and then you join in around underneath the armhole. So you do increases for the armholes, which looks so good. And yeah, I wanted to power through this and finish it quite quickly. However, I realized once I had finished the neck and both armholes that I couldn't pull it through above my head, on my head. I can't put it on, basically. This is too tight. I think I bound off too tightly, so I'm going to attempt to only unwind the bind off and then just redo it less tightly. I'm not sure what I did wrong because I think for the Marseille sweater, which was my first pattern, or my first sweater, and it's also a pattern by Petite Knit, I think it's the same kind of construction. You knit the neck ribbing and then you fold it down and cast off, or bind off, sorry, while you're binding off, while you're fold it down, sorry. And that was fine. I didn't have to redo that, so I'm not sure what happened. I hope I can make sure that it's not too tight so that I can actually wear this. But yeah, that's my first kind of mistake that I will have to fix, which I have not done yet because I'm just, you know, when you make a mistake in a project and you're just like, I'm just going to put it to the side for a bit and then I'll pick it up again and fix it. And then also the armholes, I think this one is fine, but I think this one is, I don't know why, but way bigger than the first one. I don't know if you can see that, but this one is better and this one is like, and it just curls up a bit, and yeah, I'm not satisfied with that. So I think I picked up too many stitches for this, even though I thought I had picked up the same number as the first armhole, but obviously I did not. So because I'm just gonna have to redo the neck anyway, I think I'm gonna be brave and unravel all of this and do it again, and I might unravel the bind off here and redo only the bind off because I read the pattern wrong. I thought it said not to bind off the Italian bind off too tightly, but actually it said do it tightly for the armhole edges so that it's neater. So that means that mine is a bit loose, so I might, if I have the courage to unravel everything, I might do that. But otherwise I really like it. I hope this will fit or suit me, but I think with blocking it's fine. I did try to steam block it a little bit, so that's why it's already a bit looser than otherwise, but yeah. This is going to be put to the side for a little bit while I work on other more exciting projects that I do not have to fix. I forgot to talk about the yarn, so I am using Knitting for Olive Merino and Soft Silk Mohair in the color Marzipan. So the Knitting for Olive Merino is 100% extra fine merino, and the Soft Silk Mohair is, 70% silk, 30% mohair. No, the other way around. 70% mohair, 30% silk. I really like this color. I might make a sweater one day in this colorway, but I'll wait until I've finished the vest to make sure that I like it on me. So that's the yarn, and now let's talk about my next whip. So the next project I have on my needles is the Monday sweater by Petite Knit. It is a top-down raglan sweater design with quite long ribbing around the cuffs and the hem of the sweater. And I am knitting it in Knitting for Olive Merino and Soft Silk Mohair again in the colorway Deep Petroleum Blue, which is like a muted navy blue, which looks really lovely. I didn't want a navy blue, and I really wanted to try this combination of yarn because I've never used them together before. I started the Friday Slipover about the same time as the Monday sweater, so that's why I'm saying that. I really love the yarn. It's so soft. I knit the Monday sweater junior by Petite Knit again in Fennel's Garn Tin Silk Mohair and Fennel's Garn Sunday, and it wasn't as soft as this is, I don't think. So I'm really excited to actually wear this. I have it on quite small, a small cable, so you won't be able to see too much. I'll try to include some B-rolls of me, once I've put it on a bigger cable. But I am about halfway through the raglan increases, I think, and I've done neck, and I think I'm showing you the back. Yeah, this is the back. This one has got some German short row shaping around the back of the neck, which I think is going to look really lovely. I can't wait to finish this. The pattern by Petite Knit is very clear and straightforward. I've not had any issue with it yet, but then I've made the Monday sweater junior, so I already know what's going on with this pattern. But yeah, it's been really lovely, and I'm still on my first skeins of Merino and Mohair, and I've got 5 of Merino and I think 6 of the Mohair, so I think I might have I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. And also I did have to go up a needle size, or like a half needle size, so I'm using 4.5mm needles, I think, for the body when it's supposed to be 4mm, and I used 4mm for the neck ribbing, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'll put it on the screen, but I think that's what I did. And yeah, I have another project on my needles which is going to take precedent over this. I'll talk about it in a minute. So I don't know when I'll be able to finish it, but I would really like to finish it by like mid-January. I think that's just a dream. But yeah, I really like it. And so I'm just going to talk about the next whip on my needles, which I started on Thursday, and it is actually a test knit for Handmade by Florence here on YouTube, or Florence Miller, and it is the test knit for the Fennel Seed jacket. So the Fennel Seed jacket is a top-down raglan cardigan, but using a worsted weight or an iron weight yarn, so it's a bit thicker, so I guess that's why she called it a jacket. And it is featuring broken rib and a lovely double knitted button band. I am knitting the size C, so to give you a clue, I'm mostly knitting like size S patterns because my bust circumference is about 90 centimeters. It's got 9 sizes, so starting from 75 centimeters of bust circumference and finishing with 155 centimeters. And it's got about 15 centimeters of positive ease. She didn't include in the pattern the yardage or the inches, so I will just talk about it with what I know. I'm sorry. I'm very bad at converting centimeters into inches and meters into yards. I'm really bad at that, so I apologize for all of my American viewers, but yeah. So this is what I've got so far. Yay. I'm actually quite proud of how far I am. She used the heavy merino by Knitting for Olive, held with soft silk mohair, again by Knitting for Olive, in the colorway Fennel Seed, which is why the jacket is called that. But I chose a different yarn, so I am using Isager Iron Tweed in the colorway Sand, held with Isager Alpaca one, which is it 100? Yeah, it's 100% alpaca. In the colorway, I think it's E0. Yeah, E0. So I really wanted like a speckled yarn for this, but I didn't have a lot of time to buy the yarn for the project. I didn't have any yarn, like any sweater quantities in my stash, so I had to purchase it, and quite quickly. I've got about 7 weeks to finish the jacket, so that's quite a while away, but I just really wanted to cast it on as soon as I had the pattern. So I chose the Isager Iron Tweed. I'm quite happy and unhappy about it, just because it's quite a bit more rustic than I thought. It's my first time knitting with rustic yarn, so I mean, I like it and I really like the colorway, and I just hope that it will not be quite as stiff as it is now once blocked. I've only steamed blocked my swatch because I just really wanted to start it, but as you can see, it's quite, I don't know, it's quite stiff, but otherwise I think it's a lovely speckled yarn. I really like it, and it is a jacket, so I feel like it's got enough positive ease for me to wear long sleeves underneath it, and I'll probably just use it like as an outerwear jacket more than a cozy home jacket. I hope the mic wasn't too annoying for you. Yeah, I don't think you can really feel the alpaca yet, but I'm hoping again that with blocking you will be able to do that. So I am about halfway through the raglan increases. I can show you on actually what it looks like, although that's above my... I hope my mic isn't too annoying. So yeah, this is looking like just a knit color for now. But yeah, I'm almost done with the raglan increases, and then I'll just have to start splitting for sleeves, or well, putting the stitches for the sleeves on hold, since this is raglan. And yeah, I'm actually quite happy because since this is a broken rib design, I didn't have to go up in needle size, so I'm knitting gauge for this. I think when I'm knitting stockinette, I just knit really tightly, but once there's pearls, I'm just my gauge is a bit looser. So I did purchase quite a lot of these, which was really expensive, but I think if I had chosen the recommended yarn, it would have been about like maybe 10 or maybe 20 euros cheaper, So I just thought I really wanted to try this yarn, and this is going to be my last purchase of the year for sure. But I think for my size she recommends about 1,150 meters, so that's quite a lot for my size. Well, it's not a lot, but that meant quite a lot of these. I purchased 10 of these. I don't think I will actually need 10 of these, so we shall see. And I purchased 5 of these, the alpaca one, but I think I will only need 4, and I will use the last one for some gloves, I think. Pair it with a fingering weight yarn. But yeah, I'm really excited to test knit this. I've really been loving being in the group chat with everyone and talking about the project and talking about our progress. It's been really lovely. I really like talking about knitting with other people, in case you hadn't noticed. So yeah, that's my last whip. This is the one that is going to take the most of my attention, apart from the Christmas gift I still have to make, or finish at least. But otherwise, I'm just going to spend a lot of time knitting on this to meet the deadline, because I'm quite a slow knitter and I would really like to finish it by the beginning of January if I can. So now let's just dive into acquisitions. It was my birthday at the beginning of the month, so that meant that I had quite a lot of knitting related gifts, so I'm going to show you them now. The first gift that I had was this yarn bowl, or bowl to hold yarn, which is from Sysleriget. It's huge. I didn't think it was that big when I put it on my wish list, but it's really big, but it's really lovely. That means I can put, like right now, if I put my Aran tweed, which is quite chunky, it fits in this, so that's lovely, because when it's tangled with the alpaca, it's really annoying. But well, it's not really annoying, but it does kind of get tangled up with the alpaca, since the alpaca is so thin compared to it. But yeah, it's really useful for that, so I'm really pleased with that one. Thank you to my sister. And then the next one was a book, so I apologize in advance because this is a book in French. I don't think this is published in English. I'll check, and if it is, I'll put the link down below for it, probably on Amazon or something, or like at least the name. But I think this is only available in French. But this is the Bible of knitting, basically, and you've got 320 patterns or knitting motifs explained, so like broken rib or cables and stuff like that. And I'm really happy with this, because I didn't put it on my wish list. It was a gift by my godmother, who knows that I've started knitting, and she just chose this herself. But I really wanted one of these to learn some more knitting techniques. I definitely think I'm going to try next year to learn one new cable or a rib design a month. I might make a swatch to learn. So yeah, I think I actually also want one for color work, so that way I can finally try to knit color work. But I'm really pleased with this one. I can show you, like, for example, this is a cable, and you've got the chart and then the written instructions. And same thing for what is this called in English? I think this is called like lace designs. Is it? I think so. I've got the only annoying thing with it being in French is that I'm gonna have to look up the terms in English each time, just to be able to, whenever I read a pattern that uses that motif, texture, I can, like, in my mind put them together and be like, oh yeah, I've learned that, or I've seen that in the book, and yeah, that's the only thing, but that's fine. That's a small thing. So that's the second knitting acquisition that I got, and then I got 2 gift cards for the same online shop that I usually shop at, so that was really nice, and that meant that I purchased some yarn. So I used it a little bit to purchase yarns for the Fennel seed jacket, but I also bought some yarn for other future projects. So the first one is the Teddy Deer by Gepard Garn. This is 50% merino wool, 40% alpaca, and 10% PA. I'm not sure what PA is, but it's a boucle yarn. I really wanted to try some boucle. I might make either a Christmas gift or a hot water bottle cover for myself with this. I don't know. This, I only bought 2. I think this is in the colorway white. I'll put it on the screen if it's not. Well, I'll put it on the screen anyway. And this is 50 grams for 75 meters. So I hope I will have enough for my projects, one project. And if I like this yarn, I think next year I might make myself a boucle sweater or cardigan. I would really like that, because this is, well, it's not very soft, but it looks very cuddly. I really like that. So that's the first one. But I also bought some Cardiff cashmere, which is 100% cashmere, in the colorway. So it's Classic Cashmere by Cardiff. Cashmere Classic. Something like that. This is in the colorway Brown Natural, and I want to make a beanie for myself. This is really soft and lovely, and I can't wait to make this beanie that I've been wanting to make for a while now, but I have so many projects on the go, I can't. I really love having so many projects on the go at the same time, because that means I can, like, pick and choose whichever I want to make. But having deadlines for Christmas means that I can't knit on everything that I want to make, and I think this is a bit too many projects at the same time. I think next time I'm going to, like, try to have one main project, like a sweater or a cardigan, and then 1 or 2 small projects. And also gift knits, we'll talk more about that later, but I don't think I want to make as many next year. Oh, and the last thing also I purchased, oh, this is getting tangled, with the last, with the gift card, was these needle stoppers. I purchased these ones in white for larger needles, and then I've got smaller ones in blue for smaller needles, which you may have seen when I was holding up my Monday sweater. So I'm really appreciative of everyone gifting me things related to knitting, because that's just a hobby I really like. It's a very expensive hobby, but I really, really, really enjoy it. So I am going to wrap this up now. Thank you so much for listening to me for so long. I hope this isn't too long of a podcast, but I did have a lot to show you today. So I am going to try actually to post 1 or 2 bonus videos by the end of the month. So be sure to subscribe if you're not already, and check out my daily vlogmases on TikToks if that's something that you would like to see. And yeah, tell me whatever you're currently knitting on, and let's talk in the comments or on Instagram. I would really love that. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!